Good morning, children. So welcome back to another computer class. So today we are going to learn about parts of a computer. I guess all of you have now used your keyboard to type in WordPad. Let us now identify some of the other parts also of a computer. All of us are familiar with computers. Yes, you must have seen computers being used around you, in your school, at your homes, outside in the supermarkets, etc. And you would be using a computer now at home too to attend your classes, right? So all of us know that a computer is a machine that helps us to make our work easier and faster. So there are different types of computers, but basically when we talk about a computer, it is divided into four main parts, and they are monitor, mouse, keyboard and CPU. Repeat with me: monitor, mouse, keyboard and CPU. Let's identify the different parts of a computer. So we know that it has four parts. So let us identify what these parts are. So the first one, this is a monitor. Then the next part we know about is the mouse. And then we have the keyboard. And the fourth part is the CPU. The CPU is also sometimes called as CPU box because it is in a box. The contents of the CPU is inside that box. So sometimes we call the CPU also as a CPU box. So the parts are monitor, mouse, keyboard and CPU. Who is this? This is a monitor. So a monitor looks like a TV. Yes, it looks like a TV screen. And whatever work we do on the computer is seen on the screen of the monitor. When you type, when you draw something on the computer, all these things are seen on the screen of the monitor. And sometimes we even call the monitor itself as a screen of the computer. So the monitor or the screen is the place where you can see whatever work we have done on the computer. There are three types of monitors mainly. They are the CRT monitor, the LCD monitor and the LED monitor. Now, the full form of these CRT, LCD, LED are slightly difficult for you to remember since you're still too small, right? But basically we should know that these three are the different types of monitors, and there are many features which are much more better in the LCD and LED monitors as compared to the CRT monitor. And also the CRT monitor was a little bulkier, it was bigger in size. Nowadays very few people use it, but earlier it was the one which was used usually, right? So it is slightly bulkier, it is a box kind of look it has. Whereas the LCD and the LED monitors are much more slimmer and durable and look also very nice. The next important part of a computer is the mouse. So, have you ever understood why this name has been given? Yes, because it looks like a mouse. The wire that is connected to the mouse looks like the tail of a real mouse. And the computer mouse is also very small. And when you move the computer mouse, on the screen, the arrow moves on the monitor screen. So basically, we use a mouse to select things on the monitor. And we can also use it to draw, we use it to play games, we use it to work effectively on our computer. I know by now all of you must have used a mouse. So now I hope you understood how important this part of the computer is. As we mentioned earlier, the mouse has a wire connected to it, right? So that wire connects the mouse to the computer. That is why when the mouse is moved on your table, the work is done on the monitor. Also, the mouse has three parts. One is the right button, the other is the left button, and then in the middle we have the scroll wheel. So we have the right button, the left button, and the scroll wheel. Now, each of these buttons have a different purpose. We usually use the left button to select things on the monitor. We usually use the right button to take some shortcuts. And we use the scroll wheel to move up and down the screen. As we continue using the mouse in your computer classes, you will be able to better understand how these buttons are used and for what purpose each of them are used. Let us know some more facts about the mouse. When we move the mouse on our desk or table, there is a pointer on the screen that moves accordingly. So in case we want to point at something on the screen or we want to draw something, we have to move that pointer to the required position by moving the mouse on our table. So this is one thing, the mouse is always used to direct the mouse pointer. One more thing we need to remember is it is always better to use a mouse pad beneath the mouse. This takes care of your mouse and it ensures that the mouse moves according to what you want it to move. It is more systematic in using. So it is always preferable that you use a mouse pad beneath your mouse. In today's class, we have learned to identify the 4 parts of a computer and we have learned some more information about the monitor and the mouse. We will learn the other 2 parts, more about them in our next class. Let us now do some activities. In case you have your books, you can do them in your books too. So let us see what is the first activity. Color the box that shows the correct name of the computer part. So the first one is, the options given are CPU box and the monitor. So which is the correct answer? Yes, it is the monitor. Now, what is the next part? Is it a keyboard or a monitor? Yes, it is a keyboard. And what about the third picture? Is it a CPU box or a keyboard? Correct. It is the CPU box or the CPU. Let's now do another fun activity. So in this activity, we have to write the first letter of each picture in the box below it. And then we have to read the letters together to find a new word. So let's identify each picture and write the letter. So the first one has already been done for us. So the first picture is the moon and the first letter is M. So the second picture, what is it? It is an owl. So the first letter is O. The third picture, it is the picture of a notebook. And the first letter is N. And the fourth picture, it is a picture of a yummy ice cream. So the first letter is I. And then we have a tomato. So the first letter of a tomato is T. And then we have a yummy orange. So we have the first letter as O. And finally we have a bunny rabbit. So the first letter of rabbit is R. So now let us read the letters together. M, O, N, I, T, O, R. Monitor. Yes, monitor is a part of the computer. So children, I hope you enjoyed doing both the activities. In case you do not have the textbook, you can always do it in your notebook also. Just note down and complete it. So now, since we learned about the monitor and the mouse, we are going to type 2 sentences each in WordPad. All of you are very familiar with WordPad now, and you're also familiar with using the keys on the keyboard. So you are going to use the appropriate keys, and type the following in WordPad. So wherever there is a capital letter, it should be typed in capital letter. Numbers, use the appropriate keys for numbers, full stop, etc. Once you have done the typing, you can also type your name, class and section and send a picture of the same. Request your parents to click a picture and send the same in your WhatsApp group. So we are going to type the sentences. A monitor looks like a TV. We can see whatever we type or draw on the monitor. We can use a mouse to point and select things on the monitor. We can also use a mouse to draw and play games. So children, complete this activity and send a picture of the same. Thank you. With that, we come to the end of today's class. Thank you, children, and have a good day.